Hello, everyone, and welcome to NYC Couponers. You are seeing me in the flesh as opposed to behind my camera on my cell phone. So I wanted to share a couponing story with you guys. The reason why I got into couponing, a little background about me, and maybe in the future I will do some more videos where you actually see me in the flesh. And right here, this is a I don't know if you can see this. This is a photograph. I think this is close to Hell's Kitchen in Manhattan. So I want to share with you guys why I decided to start couponing. I moved to New York City about 6 or 7 years ago. I'm originally from St. Paul, the Minneapolis area. I grew up half there and then half in Georgia. And I decided to come out here on a whim. I needed a change, and I don't regret my decision. I like living out here, but living in New York City, as everybody knows, is very expensive. A little more background about me: I am in the IT field. I've been in IT for about 10 years. I started shortly after I graduated from high school, and I've been in the career ever since. I love what I do. I am one of the few women, and also one of the few women of color in my field, from what I've witnessed. But that hasn't been a deterrent. So if you are a woman, especially a woman of color, and you enjoy the technology field, then I would encourage you to get into it. But back to my couponing story. So out of the necessity, I started this about 4 years ago, I think, and I watched the show, as everybody knows, the Extreme Couponing Show, and that inspired me to start. Um, when you start out, you do have a few mishaps. I also attribute a lot of my couponing to couponing websites. Crazy Coupon Lady, Living Rich with Coupons, Hip to Save, Southern Savers, just to name a few. And here in New York, as you can tell, if you do live here, the cost of rent is high and it's getting high, and it's not, going down anytime soon. Even areas that people wouldn't have lived in maybe 10, 15 years ago have become, gentrified, or, housing is going up and it's just out of control. Like, for example, I used to live in a different part of Queens, and when I moved here, or when I lived there at the time, rent there was like maybe $300 less than what it is now. People are moving out of Astoria into that area, and the rent is going up. So it's just all across the board. I don't know if that's the economy is improving and more people are moving into the city. I don't know what is causing that problem. I mean, it's not that it's a problem. I guess it's good for somebody. But anyway, you know, uh, yes, the salaries are slightly higher here in New York, but just because the salaries are higher doesn't mean that you're bringing home a whole lot more. And then with the rent being the way that it is, and then people are gonna ask, well, why'd you move there? And I'm like, look, there's always balances to everything. If you live in a different part of the United States, you have a car. I don't have a car anymore. I did. My car actually got messed up during Hurricane Sandy at my uncle's house, so I no longer have it. I kind of think it's a blessing because trying to find parking here is just too much sometimes. And so you have a car in some other place, and you're paying your car insurance, your car payment if it's a newer car. You're paying maintenance fees. You're paying for gas. So here in New York, the only thing I'm really responsible for is my Metro card. Either I can do it weekly and pay $30, or I can do it monthly. I think it's 124. I think. Even though the cost of the Metro cards go up every year, it's not anything in comparison to what I would have to deal with. And from what I've checked, insurance here in New York City is some of the highest insurance I've seen. It's out of control. I mean, it's probably more expensive. Take a car insurance payment, and also a car payment, and on top of rent. I wouldn't do it. My car was already paid off when I got here, and I had coverage from another state. And so once it got damaged, that was the end of it. If I ever move out of New York City and I have to get a car, okay, that's fine. But at this point in time, I get around just fine. I have a Zipcar account. I pay my insurance monthly, and also gas is included, so that's not really an issue. So if you move to New York City and you want to get rid of your car, I would invest in a Zipcar account. I think there are other car sharing companies. I think Hertz has one. I signed up, but I never used them. And if you need a vehicle to go to IKEA or pick things up, then I would get a Zipcar. So back to the necessity of couponing here in New York. Yeah, I mean, with everything costing more here, like for example, I see on couponing websites, they'll have certain items, and then I'll go to the store and it'll be like 50 cents or 75 cents higher. So just keep that in mind. If you do frequent those websites, remember that the majority of the time, certain things are going to be higher in New York just because. And then also, there's also taxes on bottles like plastic. Like if you buy some water, there's a tax on that. And then of course in New York City you have city taxes. I've never experienced city taxes before, so that's something else to look forward to. Um, and with all that being said, I don't regret my decision on moving here. This is a great city. There's lots of things to do. I think this is a great place if you're an adult. Um, as far as having kids, I think there's a reason why people move to New Jersey or Long Island to raise a family. If you do have kids here, maybe your kids love it, maybe you love it, and things like that. But as far as like having places for kids to go play and, run outside and things like that, I don't. I mean, yeah, you have parks and things like that in New York, but I think kids need, backyards and, things like that to be able to run out and play. I don't see that here, that kids are outside playing. Maybe they're playing at the park, but I've seen photos, and there was a time, when you'd see kids outside playing outside here in New York City. Now everybody's inside with playing video games or on their computers all day, but I don't really see a whole lot of that going on. And back to why I find couponing to be necessary. I have not having to pay full price for a lot of items that you see on my videos, not having to pay full price for laundry detergent. Everybody's got to wash clothes. Here in New York, you have to take your clothes to the laundromat. You don't even have a washer and dryer, which I very much miss. So everybody's got to wash clothes. Everybody's got to have toothpaste. Everybody's got to have personal care items. That's just a given. And so with couponing, if you can get those items for cheap or even free, why not? I'm not going to, as far as the show, I think a lot of the stuff on the show is somewhat misleading. It is a good way to get you started on couponing. I think you can catch some episodes on YouTube and things like that. I don't think the show is on air anymore, but also, I did some reading, and also a lot of the stuff that goes on the show. Of course, it's TV and it's for show, but a lot of the stuff I don't even think stores anymore allow you to have these big number of coupons anymore. Like you're gonna have 100 coupons for 100 tubes of toothpaste and get them all for free. I don't know if stores started putting in coupon policies due to that kind of stuff or due to the show. But you know what? In all seriousness, if you coupon in New York City, you don't need 100 tubes of toothpaste. That's just not gonna happen. You can get toothpaste where you have enough toothpaste for 6 months, maybe 12 months at the most. I mean, New York City's apartments are much smaller anyway, so I don't really see it as a necessity that I need 100 tubes of toothpaste. I think I might have like 10, possibly 12 at most, and it's not like I'm eating the stuff. So toothpaste is going to take you a long time. One thing you should probably, I would coupon for and probably make sure you have at least 2 years is laundry detergent. How many times have you gone to the store and you've paid about $8 or $9 for a bottle of laundry detergent? And this isn't even the good stuff. This isn't like Tide or anything like that. This is like, maybe some generic brand or something like that. I like Tide, so I use Tide, and I always check out sales for Tide. But when you coupon, you can, if you want, if you're like, hey, I got it for free, I don't care what the brand is. Or if you like certain brands, then you check out those sales for those brands and you stock up on those items. Another thing, toilet paper. Okay, you go to the store and you buy toilet paper. Okay, sometimes I see toilet paper $15, $16, and this is for the big rolls. And I'm like, everybody needs toilet paper. I don't care who you are, you have toilet paper in your house. So if you can get, pretty cheap, there are times where I've gotten free toilet paper, but that's because, and it's not from just a single coupon. That's like if I have some extra care bucks and that item goes on sale, and I think like maybe 2 weeks ago, I was able to get some free toilet paper. It was the Scott Extra Soft. Scott is not my favorite brand, but I want to try out the tube free, which I do have, and also the Extra Soft. But I'm more of a Charmin and Coulter Northern. See, when you coupon, you can be selective on the brands that you like. So that's me right there in a nutshell. Cleaning products. Everybody's got to clean their house. At least I hope, you know, you guys are cleaning your houses properly. Anyway, but yeah, cleaning products. I mean, cleaning products are expensive. And food. With overage, some people do talk about overage. And I guess that's why you have people buying lots of items to get overage on items such as meat and produce. Here in New York, you can get away with not paying a whole lot for produce. You always have vegetable stands and also farmers markets. But when those things are not, I mean, the vegetable markets are always around. But sometimes, and I'm going to say this, I hate to spend money on vegetables that are rotten or, poor quality. So if I have to spend more money on better quality fruits and vegetables, I'm doing it. Because if I spend money on poor quality stuff, it's gonna rot and then it goes in the garbage and then I've wasted my money. So, with that being said, with overage, I mean, you can do overage right where you're not spending a whole lot of money. Like for example, I bought the truffle oil that you saw in. Actually, you haven't seen it. I haven't posted that video yet, but you will see the truffle oil. That was $2.71 at Target, and then there was a $3 printable coupon, and then there's a 15% cartwheel from the Cartwheel app from Target. Now that's going to give you overage. So if you bought something else, it's going to take away from that balance that you don't have coupons for. Or with Target, what you can do is, okay, your non-perishable items. For example, I did the toothpaste deal. No, not toothpaste. Excuse me. The Colgate deal, which was a mouthwash. I got I think I got. Sorry, I don't know who that is outside. Um, I got the Colgate deal where I think I paid $6 and some cents, and I got a $5 gift card back. And then there were some bath sponges. They were $1.99 each, and I bought three, and I got a $5 gift card back. So hey, I have $10 now. So what I can do is I can find some coupon deals for some food, that sort of thing. Even okay, for example, I bought some grapes today from Target for $2.50. I use my gift cards. And oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. And also I went to Whole Foods today. Whole Foods has an app, and I purchased it was $40 worth of stuff, but it was really good quality meat. I think Whole Foods tries their best to I think I would hope so, not to sell meat that is has antibiotics and other additives included in it. So I did a $25 purchase, which took $5 off of that, and I also did a $20 purchase of produce, which they took $5 off, so that came up to about 40. And then I had gone to Target. I think I went to Target today, and I went yesterday. So there's two Target stores that are close to where I am in opposite directions. So it's just an easy train or bus ride. And I got all those items from Target for free with my gift card, so that was nothing out of pocket. So I guess the key to Target is when you get like a really low gift card deal going on, keep those gift cards and use them for meat and produce. And then also at Target, another thing to look for is when the meat is at just maybe a day or two before the sell by date, they mark it down. So I mean, I've had times where I've gone into Target and I've probably paid like $1 or $2 from for some skinless chicken. So look out for that as well. And that's the same at Whole Foods, and that's the same at other supermarkets as well. Also, with me, I do have a club card for BJ's wholesale, and I use that primarily for my produce. I think they have some of the best produce, and also meat as well. So I tend to go there for that. But as far as other items like toothpaste, body wash, all that stuff, etc., I will coupon at CVS primarily, and if it's a really good deal at Target, I'll go there as well. I don't really get into Walgreens. I have tried Walgreens, and I just feel like I don't like it. They have this point system, and I feel like I spend more money out of pocket. They have some registry rewards, which are actually pretty cool, but it's just I've never liked Walgreens. Rite Aid is now going towards the point system. It's called Plenty Points. I used to like Rite Aid at one point, but I moved to a new place and then I had issues with my coupons not scanning and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, look, I don't like when I go to the store and I have issues with my coupons because my things are organized. I know exactly what I'm getting beforehand, and I don't like to hold people up in the line, and I also don't want to be in there for an extended amount of time. So it'll probably be once in a blue if I go to Rite Aid. And not to say that they don't have good deals, but sometimes I feel like it's a hassle. And then also in CVS, some of the stores that I go to, they have self checkout, so then I don't feel so bad holding people up. And I'll go when it's not too crowded, so I can do multiple transactions. The most transactions I've ever done is maybe about four. And when you see people who are extreme couponers at where they have like maybe 10 or 15 of an item they've bought in one trip from CVS, they have multiple cards, all that kind of stuff. And I don't have all of that. I have my one card. Maybe I'll get four items, possibly five. And even if I have to go more than one trip, I may go to a different store. I do not advocate, and I will not advocate people clearing shelves. I don't agree with it. You do understand that there are other people, even if I don't see a whole lot of couponers in New York, so I'm not even talking about that. I just, you have other people that want deals as well, and it doesn't make sense for me to go in there and start clearing shelves. It's not necessary. I have a lot of items that I can coupon for and I get good deals on, and it's not. I don't need all of that. And also, I've given items away. I am Guyanese on my mom's side, and so my aunt, she if you're from the islands or even Guyana, then you know about something called barrels. What my aunt does is she packs certain items to send to family and friends that live in Guyana, and so some of the items that I have, shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, things like that, I give to my aunt when she's packing her barrel to send to Guyana. So that helps out pretty a lot of people. And so I use some of my stockpile for that. I have at times stopped couponing. I did that for a couple of months. And sometimes you just need to. You can't catch every sale. And then sometimes you also have to look at how much stuff you have in your house. The apartments in New York City are much smaller. So I'm like, what would you need 100 tubes of toothpaste anyway? You wouldn't have room to put it anywhere anyway, unless you're selling it. Which, as far as people selling their stockpile, there's depending on what side of the fence you're on. Some ways I find it okay, other ways I don't, and that comes in when you have people who are deliberately clearing shelves, knowing that they are going to turn around and resell those items, and that's the only reason that they're doing it. If you have people who have excess from their stockpile and they sell a couple items here and there, I don't see any issues with that, but not for the not for the reason of just clearing shelves and just reselling it. That's not. It's some of that. A lot of those items is for you to be using, and people are saying, well, it's they don't think that it's a good idea. I'm like, the way that I look at it, I'm like, look, you purchase the newspapers, you clip the coupons, that's your time, that's your money, and also even if you got the item for cheap or for free, a lot of times you still have to pay taxes on that kind of stuff. So that's still coming out of your pocket, whether you agree with it or not. So you've paid taxes, you've paid money and time for all that stuff. So you should be able to do with it as you see fit. It's just, hey, I just don't recommend clearing shelves, but hey, people are gonna do what they want to do anyway. But that's I guess that's my story about couponing in New York. It was out of necessity. I gave you some reasons as to why I started. Just the cost here. And if you are, somebody who, if you're a student, if New York is not full of people who have a lot of money, and the people that do have a lot of money here, they don't live here. They might have an apartment here, and they may have an apartment in LA, or they may have a house someplace else. But the people who actually live and consume and things like that here in New York City, they're not, even if our salaries are slightly higher, we're still coming out of pocket for more things as far as rent is concerned. So it's not like people in New York City, I mean, well, they may appear that they're, have money, but sometimes it's not even like that. So if you can find ways, especially with couponing, to save in New York City, I'm all for it. If you have any questions or comments, if you do live in the New York City area and you are curious about learning how to coupon, maybe we can meet up at some point in time and I can show you some of the things that I know. I wouldn't. I mean, I would say that I've gotten pretty good at it. Would I say that I'm an expert? Um, I don't know. I guess an expert for me is like somebody who just can take a weekly ad and be able to match coupons with what they have. I've never been able to do that. That for me is a lot of time. That's why I will go to couponing websites and look for deals. I don't have a booklet. I normally put my coupons in an envelope, and maybe I want to get one of those like accordion type. They're really small, and I can stick in my purse. I'm not going to do all of that. Some people, that's them. They get they have their binders and everything is color coordinated and done by category and all that kind of stuff. And when they're in the store and they see a deal that's on clearance, or a deal that wasn't on a couponing website, they're able to jump on it. And I'm like, that's great, but that's just not me. I have my trips already pre-planned before I go in, so I already know exactly what I'm going in there for, and I don't want to walk down aisles and be in the store all day. I like to coupon shop, but at the same time, I don't want to be in the store for hours at a time. Some people, they're spending 20, 30 hours. The most I spend on this stuff is maybe, I mean, my videos. That's for me. That's um, the most time I spend on couponing a week, including planning, is probably like maybe like 3 hours, 4 hours, and that includes the planning and the execution. So I don't want to spend all my time, and then also I want to rebuild my stockpile so that I do stop for a while. There's nothing wrong with stopping. Once you have what you need, you can you can stop for a couple of months, and then when you feel that you are getting low again, then you start again. And the thing is, you feel like you missed a deal. A lot of these deals are done, I think, every 6 to 8 weeks, so they come back around again. I did a skincare deal a few weeks ago, and now there's another coupon for $10 off of 40 skincare that's coming up, I think, this week for CVS. So the deals come back around. You're not gonna miss anything. There's another Tide deal coming up, which I'm going to do again. I did a Tide deal a couple of weeks ago, if you saw from my video. So this stuff comes up around. So you're not going to miss anything. I think it's a good idea for New Yorkers to, start to coupon. I understand that not everybody has time to do that, depending on what you do. But, when you look at the bottom line and how much you're spending on things compared to everybody else in the U.S., then why wouldn't you? So I guess with that being said, subscribe, ask any questions that you like. I will try to do some more face-to-face commentary, and I may talk about other topics as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be about couponing, but shoot me any questions that you have, and I'll talk about different topics. I mean, I'm not going to put my whole life story or everything about me out there. Um, I guess maybe the reason why I decided or I didn't put my face out there is because I do like some autonomy. But it's just I don't have a lot of subscribers yet. This is the beginning, and I think it's fun the day that it doesn't the day that it's not fun, and you have craziness going on. I'll just stop my channel in general. There's just too much stuff going on for me to get into fights or anything crazy. I don't comment too often on YouTube videos. I'm not gonna get into fights with people that I don't know. That's just craziness. So the day that this is no longer enjoyable or fun, I'll just stop, and that'll be the end of it. So thanks for listening. Comment or subscribe, and have a good night. Thanks. Bye, you guys.